Once again, we'll need box stock senior, box stock junior. You're on the grid, pre-grid. Tag senior, rock senior, Rotex masters. All pre-finals will be 10 laps. And we're about ready to go. Your box stock junior, box stock senior. Tag senior, rock senior, Rotex masters. You are now pre-grid. Bring them up. That'll be tag senior, rock senior, Rotex masters. Again, a little bit ahead of schedule. Again, due to no kid carts this afternoon. We'll see them in the final. But right now, we'll move on to box stock senior, box stock junior. You're now on the grid. Tag senior, rock senior, Rotex masters. Your pre-grid. Need Tag Senior, Rock Senior, Rotex Masters. We'll need you on the grid. You're up next. That'll be Tag Senior, Rock Senior, Rotex Masters. You're now on the grid. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. In your Rock Junior, Hunter Fox in the number 3. Nash Dine in the number 2. Jimmy Jackson in the 46. Tyler Weaver in the 72. Mark Strobe in the 51. In your box stock senior, Nick Hill in the number 6. Glenn Fitchner in the number 48. So we'll get them lined up, ready to go. Nash Dine coming in this weekend as your points leader. Nash a winner at Orlando. Defending champion Nash Dine in the number 2. Hunter Fox in the number 3. Hunter second in the point standings. Both Nash and Hunter both have wins so far this season. Box stock senior Glenn Fitchner at 48. Back-to-back wins for Glenn. And that's your current points leader. So 2 groups ready to roll. Box stock junior up front. They'll make that long run from turn 11 into turn number 12 as they start to build up the speed. Again, 10 laps. They'll come down the front straight away now. Nick going to look him over. Nick Rickard, flagger today, going to about show him no start. So we'll get that 1 lap sign to go. We'll bring him around one more time. So Hunter Fox, Nash Dine, both winners so far this season. Nash, your current points leader, up by 20 points over Hunter Fox. Again, Nash, your defending champion in 2013. Again, Glenn Fitchner, back-to-back wins, 2 for 2 for your box stock senior driver, Glenn in the 48. In that second group of carts, they'll short shoot them. Now the field will come off turn number 11. We'll see if this is the time they're going to go, as they'll get into turn number 12. Hunter Fox, Nash Dine in row number 1. They'll come to the start-finish line. Nick going to look them over, likes what he sees, getting them nice and tight. Green is up, and they are underway as they'll quickly build up speed into turn number 1. Getting up to that top spot is the number 3 of Hunter Fox in the red cart. So Hunter will bring the field into turn number 3 for the first time. So underway, again, 10-lap pre-finals. Hunter will take the field into turn number 5 for the very first time. They'll start to build up that speed. Nash Dine in that second spot in the number 2. Nash started outside row 1, goes to work on your leader off to turn number 8. Yeah, they'll carry that little battle single file to turn number 9. Again, the second group off and running. Nick Hill in the 6, Fitchner in the 48. And it's been a very good start for both Nash Dine and Hunter Fox as they'll cycle around down into turn number 1. So up front, your race leader. And Hunter Fox into number 3 with about a 2-cart length advantage into turn number 3. They'll work off turn number 4, still separated by about a cart length. So 1, 2, 3 off turn number 5, hanging right with them. The 46 of Jimmy Jackson. Jimmy got to stay right there with that lead pack off turn number 9. So it'll be Hunter Fox, Nash Dine, Jimmy Jackson, 1, 2, 3. It's exactly how they started as they come off turn number 11. A lot of speed there as they work into turn number 12. Now Nash Dine going to find that open lane. He'll slide right to the lead as they come off turn 12. Brand new leader. So Nash Dine takes the spot away. So new leader here. Jimmy Jackson, keep an eye on that lime green machine, that 46 cart staying right there, and sometimes you're in a good spot in that third place position. As they'll exit off turn number 5, top 3 drivers, Nash Dine your leader, Fox running second. Sitting back, Jimmy Jackson into 46 as they're off turn 8. Running fourth, that'll be the 51 Mark Strobe in that 51. Mark quite a distance off your top three runners into turn number 11. And 10-lap pre-final. Right now led by Nash Stein as they head down into turn number 1. That may change on the entry to turn number 1. And it will. Hunter Fox, your leader for the second time. Just enough room from the squeeze by. So Hunter Fox back up into the top position. That not going to last because Nash Stein gets it right back off turn 4. So good racing there as they come into turn number 5. So Nash Stein will come off turn 5 as your leader. Nash holding him off. Keep an eye on that 46, Jimmy Jackson. Jimmy staying right there as he stays right with your lead carts. So again, Nash Stein up there for the second time. He'll work his way down into turn number 1. Boy, Hunter Fox staying right there on the heels. Your leader off at turn number 2. They'll keep that battle into turn 3. Little left-hand turn quickly into turn number 4. So Nash Stein, your leader. Hunter Fox running second. Jackson sits third. So close it in on the halfway point next time by. Hunter Fox back in there as he gets over the top position. So now Hunter Fox going to lead him to the halfway point. Nash Stein may have something else to say about it. He's going to stuff it in there on the entry to turn 12. And he'll come to the line side by side. Nash Stein with the advantage. Here at the halfway point, 5 down, 5 to go. Good three-cart battle off turn 1. And up front, it'll be Hunter Fox. Telling you, keep an eye on Jimmy Jackson staying right there, waiting for that mistake on one of these two drivers. Tries to take a look to the inside. Nash Stein. Nash going to hold them in behind him. They'll come off turn 5. This will be 6 laps next time by. So they continue to go back and forth as your race leader. In that number 3, Hunter Fox. Again, Hunter and Nash both splitting wins so far this season. So 6 laps complete as they come to the line. Continue to see the top 2 drivers go back and forth. Right now it's Hunter Fox, your leader. And Hunter doing an outstanding job. And scoring the win in race weekend number 1 at Monticello. Top 3 drivers off turn number 8. Fox, your leader. Nash Stein running second. Jimmy Jackson third. They'll come off turn number 9 into turn 10 now quickly. Off of turn 11. Here they come again. Nash Stein has made that pass several times on the entry. The turn number 12 going to be shut down this time. Not going to be able to make the pass. Hunter, a nice line going into turn number 12. 7 laps complete, your leader. Hunter Fox off turn number 2. Flip-flopping back and forth between him and Nash Stein. As always, it'll come down to that last turn between these two drivers as they cycle around heading into turn number 5. Really not a big lead for Hunter Fox, but I'll tell you, that's a little bit of breathing room. And hard to say, just 2 cart lanes breathing room, but it's about his biggest lead he's had so far. And there it is, about a cart length and a half now in the entry to turn 11. They'll come down that long straightaway. 2 to go next time by. They'll be the final 2 circuits. As Hunter Fox works off turn 12, there it is, double sticks this time by. Hunter Fox, your leader into turn number 1. Again, Hunter looking for his second win of the season. He's got the defending 13 points champion running in his tire tracks off turn number 3. Tag Senior, Rock Senior, Rotex Masters, you're up next. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. Got a good one here in the final couple laps to go off turn 6. Hunter Fox holding on. Staying right in his heels. Again, that is the number 2 in Ashstein. Again, Jimmy Jackson staying right there with your leaders. Jimmy has been in that 3rd spot since the green flag dropped right where he qualified in 3rd. Man, that card is moving right along. They are bunched up off turn 12. Nick going to show them white. 1 to go this time by, and they're nose to tail down into turn number 1. Up front, Hunter Fox, your leader, off turn 1. Ashstein right in the middle of that sandwich as they come into turn number 5. Again, I got to believe that the success that Ashstein has had coming off that turn 12, we'll see if he's going to be able to get that open lane. You got to remember a couple laps back, again, Hunter Fox shut him down coming into turn number 12. So we'll see if he fights them off as they come off turn number 9 into turn 10. Still, it's Hunter Fox in that top spot, running second, Ashstein. Third, it'll be Jimmy Jackson. Here they come off turn number 11. We'll see if now that lane's going to open up. Here he comes, going to stuff it in there. Ashstein with the move, and he whips it out wide, side by side. It'll go to the 3. And Hunter Fox looks like he'll score the win. Ashstein second, Jimmy Jackson comes home 3rd. Mitchell will pick up the win in your Box Stock Senior. So again, here's your rundown in your Box Stock. Junior Hunter Fox is the winner. Ashstein second. Jimmy Jackson third. Mark Strobe fourth. Fifth, it'll be Tyler Weaver. In a Box Stock Senior, Glenn Fitchner will pick up the win. Nick Hill second. So there it is. Box Stock Junior and Senior in the books. So we'll move on now to Mini Rock. Excuse me, we'll move on to Tag Senior, Rock Senior, and Rotex Masters. So again, this will be Tag Senior, Rock Senior, Rotex Masters. Mini Rock, you're on the grid. Rotex Junior, Rock Junior, your pre-grid. So once again, Mini Rock, you're on the grid. Rotex Junior, Rock Junior, your pre-grid. So again, Rock Senior driver Kyle Kirkwood in the number 2. Oliver Askew outside row 1 in the number 38. Jonathan Kotick in the 57 starting 3rd. Morgan Healy in the 316 starting 4th. Austin Jordan at 332 starting 5th. Franco Carabetta in the number 20 starting 6th. In the tag class, it'll be the 28 Zach Banks, Scott Roberts in the 628, Jacob Duvall in the 7X. Hunter Olson Hodges in the 555, Aaron Smith in the 17. Matt Blair in the 47. Grant Olson Hodges in the 0. Carlos Gonzalez in the 07. Tyler Smith in the 18. Tag driver Mark Thomas in the 86. Kevin Mendez in the 6. Dimitri Veras in the number 607. That'll be your Rotex Masters driver. Mike Andrews Jr. in the 25. Tyler Jordan in the 332. And a George Metcalf in the number 4 tag driver. So good start off and running. The field will work their way into turn number 4 for the first time. Tag class, Rock Senior, and Rotex Masters. They'll work into turn 5 for the first time. Mini Rock, you're on the grid. Rotex Junior, Rock Junior, your pre-grid. So a little trouble off at turn number 9. One cart gonna bail. And top 3 drivers. Now a little exchange up front, little side-by-side racing. Kyle Kirkwood, Oliver Askew, Jonathan all mix it up. They'll work into turn 5. That looks like Oliver Askew off turn 8 as your brand new leader. So Oliver up front. And Oliver qualified outside row number 1. Looks like he'll be your leader. Oliver Askew, Jonathan running 2nd. Morgan Healy now 3rd. Kyle Kirkwood 4th. Tag driver Zach Banks. That'll be your leader in the tag class. That'll be Zach Banks in the tag class. Again, Oliver Askew, quick time 46.725 for your race leader. Jonathan right there in the meat of the sandwich. Good start for Morgan Healy in the 316. Morgan currently being scored in that 3rd spot, staying right there with your leaders. That'll be the 0. Grant Olson Hodges going to loop it off at turn 6. So problem with the 0-1. Looks like that'll be the 0-1. Correct, that'll be the 0-7 of Carlos Gonzalez. And obviously looks like a problem with the axle on that cart. But up front, moving right along, your race leader, Oliver Askew. Oliver getting a little breathing room now away from Kyle Kirkwood, who's got himself up in the 2nd spot. Morgan Healy 3rd. Jonathan back to 4th as they continue to move around for position as your leader comes off turn 11. Up front, Oliver Askew. Again, Oliver qualified outside of row number 1. And Morgan Healy, Jonathan, flip-flop again for that 3rd spot. Jonathan currently now being scored 3rd. So 4 laps complete, 6 laps remaining. Oliver Askew continue to get that breathing room. Opens up about a half a second lead right now for Oliver Askew. So 5 down, 5 to go. Halfway point right now, it's Oliver Askew, leader in the Rock Senior. Scott Roberts, in the meantime, will take over the lead in your tag class. He'll slide up to the top spot. Zach Banks will be second. Jacob Duvall third. Aaron Smith fourth. Matt Blair fifth in the tag class. So good racing there in your tag class with right now your overall leader in the tag. It'll be Scott Roberts. Oliver Askew leading in the Rock Senior. Yeah, Oliver starting to open up a decent gap now. And it'll work off at turn number 12. Again, Oliver's best lap, 45.847. Morgan Healy with a 45.938. Pretty good lap time for Morgan Healy in that 45-second bracket. So keep it on. Morgan Healy moving right along. Good start for Morgan Healy. Again, Morgan qualified in the 4th position. Continue to go back and forth with Jonathan for that 2nd place position. With Oliver Askew up front, been hanging on. Now he got about a 9/10 of a second lead, so almost a full second for Oliver Askew off of turn number 12. There's your leader. Starting to really get dialed in now as he opens up a decent run now into turn number 1. So almost about a full second lead for Oliver Askew in that 38. Morgan second, Jonathan third, Kyle fourth, Austin Jordan fifth in the tag class. Zach Banks now comes across the line in lap 6 as your leader. Robert second, Duvall third, Smith, that'll be Tyler Smith fourth, fifth, that'll be Aaron Smith. So final 2 to go. Oliver Askew in command in that number 38. Just moving right along. There's your leader off turn number 5. Oliver Askew in a 238. Man, Jonathan and Morgan Healy, great run for them. Kyle Kirkwood again. Kyle set quick time earlier this morning. Been battling in that 3rd, 4th spot as they'll come around to see the white flag next time by. There it is. White flag up, 1 to go. So Oliver Askew up front. Jonathan running second. Kyle Kirkwood third, Morgan back to 4th, Austin Jordan 5th. In the tag class, Zach Banks, your leader, Scott Roberts 2nd. Jacob Duvall 3rd, Aaron Smith 4th, 5th, that'll be Tyler Smith. So checker flag in hand for Oliver Askew. Oliver again qualified outside row 1, and he'll score the win. Jonathan will drop back to 3rd as Kyle Kirkwood making a late pass. Kyle Kirkwood 2nd, Jonathan 3rd, Morgan Healy coming on 4th, Austin Jordan 5th. In the tag class, Zach Banks will score the win in your tag class. Need Rotex Junior, Rock Junior needed to the grid. Cadet Sportsman drivers will need you to the grid as we get set for Mini Rock. It'll be 10 laps Mini Rock. And here's how I'll line them up again, your Mini Rock. Dan Luca, Peacock inside row number 1 in that 101. Outside, it'll be the 188, Juan Jose Diaz. Starting third in the number 88, Kaylin Frederick. Tyler Gonzalez in the 157, starting fourth. Fifth, it'll be the 58 of Sebastian Montoya. Starting sixth, the 30 of Ryan Rackley. Humberto Peretta in the 495, starting seventh. Eighth, it'll be the 18 of Dylan Gennaro. Jeremy Fairbairn in the 87, starting ninth. PRD driver Matt Heelan in the number 17, starting 10th. In the 51, starting in the 11th spot, Gabriel Ramirez. Jet Nolan in the 12, starting 12th. Again, your Mini Rock set out to go 10 laps. Rotex Junior, Rock Junior, you're on the grid. Cadet Sportsman, your pre-grid. Cadet Sportsman, your pre-grid. Luca Petkoff in that 101, quick time in qualifying with a 50.140. Juan Jose Diaz outside row 1 in the 188 with a 50.334. Very competitive class. You got to go all the way down to the 10th starting spot as the first 9 drivers qualifying in that 52nd bracket. All the way down to Jeremy Fairbairn. Jeremy with a 50.720. And Jeremy starting in the 9th position. Rotex Junior, Rock Junior, you're on the grid. Cadet Sportsman, your pre-grid. Cadet Sportsman, your pre-grid. Bring them up, Cadet Sportsman. So this will be your Mini Rock set to roll for 10 laps. Pre-final for the Mini Rock. Peacock and Diaz, row number 1. So they'll come off turn number 12. Nick Rickert going to look them over as they come down that front stretch. I don't think Nick's going to like that at all. And no start, so they'll send him around one more time. No start. You can kind of tell the pace of those drivers. They came down that front stretch. Not working out too well. Again, special thanks to some of our class sponsors here in 2014. Great folks up there in Jacksonville. Brad's Heating and Cooling. You can check them out online at bradsheatingandcooling.com. Also special thanks to Divine Design. I think Jerry stopped by the Holster Store. You can take a look at their website, theholsterstore.net. Also, Tony and the gang here, homesteadkarting.net. Also, the great folks up in Monticello, MonticelloKarting.com, North Florida Kart Club. Take a look at their website, and FKC.us. Andre at OrlandoKartCenter.com and Racetech Development. Check them out online, racetechdevelopment.com. And we are underway now as they come down the front stretch. Second time, it is green as they come down into turn number 1. Boy, everybody kind of moving around a little bit. And we'll see some positions moving now as they come into turn number 2. Little tight there at the tail end of that field as they kind of button them up a little bit. A little accordion effect there, but they'll start to stretch them out as they come down to turn number 1 for the very first time. And overall quick time, Peacock in the 101. And that will be your early leader. So Dan Luca gets off to a good start off turn number 9 as your leader. Got about a 2-cart length advantage off turn 10. Now they got about 5 cart lengths coming off turn 11. A little bit movement down on for that 4 spot as they come into turn number 12 for the first time. That'll be Juan Diaz, so we'll correct. That'll be Diaz, your leader, in the 188. Petkoff second, Frederick third, Gonzalez fourth, Dylan Gennaro up in the fifth spot. How about Dylan, qualified eighth now? Has picked up several spots. Dylan being scored fifth. So freight train of traffic off turn number 5. Again, that is the 188 of Juan Jose Diaz, your leader. Juan qualified outside row number 1. Looks like that car dialed in pretty well, so we'll make off turn 10. Minkoff running second, Frederick third, Gonzalez and Dylan Gennaro as they'll make their way into turn number 12. Nice line of traffic off turn 12. Boy, I'll tell you right now, Diaz gets a good run coming off at turn number 12, stays right on the heels of your leader. And they'll continue that battle off of turn number 1. Rotex Junior, Rock Junior, you're on the grid. Cadet Sportsman, your pre-grid. Cadet Sportsman, your pre-grid. And Kalen Frederick with a very good lap time of 50.675. Right now, that is your third place card off of turn number 8. Petkoff holding on now as they come down into turn number 12. That'll be the 188 holding on to that top position as they come down the front stretch. So it's Petkoff, Frederick moving into second, Diaz third, Gonzalez fourth, Dylan Gennaro in the top 5. Yeah, nice start for the 88 at Kalen Frederick right now running in that second place position. And Caleb qualified in the third spot right now running second. He has third, Gonzalez fourth, Dylan Gennaro running fourth. Fifth is Dylan. Sixth, it'll be Ryan Rackley. Seventh, it'll be Montoya Fairburn running in the 8th spot. Ninth, it'll be Peretta. 10th, it'll be Jet Nolan. That's your top 10. You look at this freight train of traffic off of turn number 3. Still, you got about 7 carts right there, all single file into turn number 5. So good racing off turn number 5. And again, whipping it out way wide. That may cost the lead, and it certainly does. As Petkoff came way wide off of turn number 5. Open up the door for Kalen Frederick, and now Kalen is your new leader into turn number 11. You've seen that cart really getting some momentum coming off of turn number 5. Kind of brought it out a little weeping wide. And that'll give us a brand new leader here at the halfway point. So Frederick, your leader. Petkoff running second. Diaz third. Gonzalez fourth. Dylan Gennaro running in the 5th spot. Rackley 6th. Montoya 7th. Fairburn running 8th. Beretta running 9th. Landon Kelly 10th. Jet Nolan running 11th. Heelan in the PRD currently being scored 12th. Ramirez 13th. DeMajan running 14th. New Center running 15th. So 5 laps in, 5 to go. We've seen a great battle up front. Yet another leader. And the way Diaz came out of that gate very strong. It just took a little bit of time, a couple laps, for these drivers to bring in your leader and finally got exchanged for the lead. As Frederick now comes down the front stretch. Tucking that head down as they head down into turn number 1. Tyler Gonzalez in the 157 being scored in that 4th spot. Currently running 0.8 of a second behind your leader. He's in behind Diaz as they come into turn number 5. And keep an eye at Petkoff. Continue to work on your leader as they come into turn number 12. Dan Luca trying to make a move as they come down the front stretch. Now, we'll see if he can make that move coming down into turn number 1. Kalen going to keep him in behind him. So a nice piece of driving there for your race leader. As Kalen keeps Petkoff in behind her. And he'll work off turn number 3. Again, it's a great battle. Frederick in the 88. Petkoff in the 101. Diaz in the 188. In behind them, you got Gonzalez and Dylan Gennaro off of turn 5. 4th and 5th with Gonzalez 4th. 5th, it'll be Dylan Gennaro. Again, in this last lap, 50.507 for your leader. 50.507. So they'll come up, 2 to go. This time by, we'll see with time starting to tick away. As your leader takes the field into turn number 1. Frederick holding on to that top position. Petkoff running second. Diaz sits third. They'll work off turn number 3 and continue to hold on to that way. Gonzalez 4th, Dylan Gennaro 5th. And we'll see if these two drivers in behind your leader, Petkoff and Diaz, can get something going as they exit off of turn number 9. About 2 kart length lead for Kalen as they come into turn number 9. Boy, Kalen nice and comfortable off of turn number 12, and they'll pick up the white. 1 to go. Great run down that long straightaway. That may be enough momentum to keep Kalen up front. They'll work their way off of turn number 2, so Kalen holding on to that top position. Petkoff running second. Diaz sits third. A little bit of gap now between Diaz in that third spot, and Dylan Gennaro has moved up in to 4th. Leaders off at turn number 5 for the final time. They'll work into turn number 8, led by the 88 of Kalen Frederick. Kalen nice and smooth off of turn 9. Still carries a good 3.5, 4 kart length lead off of turn 11. Down the long straightaway for the final time. Kalen Frederick now holds on to that top spot off of turn number 12. Nice run, and will pick up the win. Coming home second, Petkoff third. It'll be Diaz. Gonzalez making a late pass. Skits into that 4 spot. 5th, it'll be Dylan Gennaro. 6th, it'll be Montoya. Ryan Rackley 7th, Fairbairn 8th, Beretta 9th, Landon Kelly 10th. So there it is in the books. Your mini rock. Pull it up next. It'll be Rotex Junior, Rock Junior, 10 laps. Cadet Sportsman, you're up. You'll be after Rock Junior. That'll be Cadet Sportsman. We'll need you to the grid, Cadet Sportsman. In your Rock Junior class, Matthias Ramirez, overall quick time, 46.310. On that pole position, Austin Garrison outside row 1. Rotex Jr., Kristen Muniz in the 92. James Acclaim in the 201. Mayo Livingston in the 234. Marcus Peterson into number 23. So it'll be 10 laps, combined groups, your Rotex Junior, Rock Junior. Need Cadet Sportsman, Cadet Sportsman. We'll need you to the grid, Cadet Sportsman. And continue to see these winds pick up, seeing gusts somewhere right around 25 miles an hour. I'll say that it's been a beautiful day here at Homestead Karting, race weekend number 3 with the Florida Karting Championship Series. And track coming in very well for the drivers. And some good qualifying times. Now we'll move on into our pre-finals. Cadet Sportsman, you're on the grid. Shifters, your pre-grid. Shifters, your pre-grid. We need all shifter drivers, your pre-grid. So Rotex Junior, Rock Junior, Ramirez into 151. Austin Garrison with a 46.817. About a half a second going to separate those two during qualifying. So we'll see if Ramirez can pick up where he left off during qualifying. Cadet Sportsman, you're up next. Cadet Sportsman, you're up next. You'll be followed by Shifters. Again, Shifters, you will follow Cadet Sportsman. So field going to make their way into turn number 12. They'll get them tighten up. Ramirez, Rock Jr. Munez in the 92. We'll correct that. Rock Jr. for Ramirez. That's quick time. Rotex Jr. Christian Munez in that 92. We'll get them tighten up as they come down the front stretch. 10 laps. Austin Garrison on the outside. Ramirez on the inside. They'll head into turn 1. Ramirez. Well, hold on, boy, they are side by side, really tight. A little bit of bouncing going on the entry to turn number 2. Boys forgot we got 10 laps in this one. They are trying to get to the front as they continue to go nose to tail into turn number 5. Led by Ramirez in a 151. Austin Garrison holding on to that second spot as they'll cycle off at turn number 8 for the first time. Little battle there. That'll be 4th and 5th. Little wheel-to-wheel, side-by-side racing as they come off at turn number 10. Couple Rotex Junior drivers going at it as they cycle around for lap number 1. A little exchange now for that third spot. That'll be Austin Garrison getting that position away from Mayo Livingston. Nice run in the entry to turn number 1. It looked like Garrison had just enough room to get around Mayo Livingston. Mayo quickly jumped up to that second spot, but boy, all of a sudden, far off into the sunset, Ramirez starting to check out on the field. With Garrison second, Livingston third. Again, Livingston is your Rotex Junior leader. Garrison and Ramirez Rock Junior drivers. So right now, Garrison running second, Rock Junior. As Ramirez is your leader, Rock Jr. Rotex Junior leader, that'll be Mayo Livingston. Chase running second. Peterson third. Munez running fourth, Rotex Jr. And Ramirez this morning, 46.310. Still unable to get into that 46-second bracket. Oops, until now, as he just rolls a 46.881 for Ramirez. So Ramirez starting to knock on the door of that 46.310 that he did in qualifying. So his speeds continue to pick up. That's what I was about to say. We don't have a driver in that 46-second bracket. Ramirez crossed the line at 46.881. And Ramirez with a 2.2-second lead now over Austin Garrison. Mayo Livingston, your leader in the Rotex Junior, 48.508. Best lap time for Mayo Livingston. Again, Mayo is your Rotex Junior leader. Again, Ramirez picking up the pace, 46.790 for Ramirez. Again, Garrison unable to really gain any ground, still 2.2 seconds behind your leader. Again, it'll be your Rock Junior drivers, Rotex Junior, Mayo Livingston. Mayo with a good 1.5-second advantage right now over Chase in that 201. Again, that'll be your Rotex Junior drivers. So Ramirez, your overall leader, Rock Jr. running second, Rock Jr. driver, Austin Garrison. In the Rotex Jr., it's Mayo Livingston holding on to that top spot. 5 down, 5 to go is Ramirez. Nice, comfortable lead off of turn number 1, 2.2-second gap. Again, Garrison staying pretty steady. Austin in that 46-second bracket, 46.827. Unfortunately, he's pretty well staying put in that 2.2-second gap between first and second. He's unable to really gain any ground, but staying steady as Ramirez cruises right along. A lot of laps here for Ramirez at Homestead Karting. And a chance to talk with Matthias Stolman. He finished second out there in Texas in the shifter class and had a lot of fun out there in Texas. And congratulations to all those drivers who made it up there. And outstanding run for a lot of the drivers from the Ocala Grand Prix. And right now, Ramirez in command, just turned out a 46.471. He'll pick up 0.2 of a second now on Austin Garrison. So 2.4-second gap between first and second. Ramirez your leader, Garrison second. Rotex Jr., it's Livingston, Acclaim, Peterson, and Muniz. And Christian did not make a way out in that 292. Oh, Ramirez cruising right along. There's your leader in the 151. Nice and smooth down into turn number 1. Garrison running second. Mayo Livingston, Rotex Junior leader. Cadet Sportsman, you're up next. Shifters, your pre-grid. Shifters, you are pre-grid. So Ramirez now 2.9-second lead over Austin Garrison. He'll pick up double sticks as he heads to the line. 2 to go for your race leader, Matthias Ramirez. Mayo Livingston, Rotex Junior leader. Yeah, Muniz off on the cart there, so did not get any laps in for the 292 for Christian. So final lap and a half to go. Ramirez off turn 5, moving right along. Cadet Sportsman, you're up next. Get them ready. Shifters, your pre-grid. We need shifter drivers, your pre-grid. So Ramirez will pick up the white flag as he'll head down into turn number 1. Ramirez off turn number 1 with a 3.2-second lead. Best lap time for Ramirez, 46.471. Again, a little bit quicker this morning, obviously a little bit cooler. And he ran to 46.310 this morning for qualifying. Best lap 46.471 for Matias as he heads into turn number 8. Mayo Livingston holding on to the top spot, Rotex Jr. So crossing the line is Ramirez. He'll score the win. Garrison coming home second, 3.3 seconds behind your leader. Mayo Livingston looking to lock it up in your Rotex Jr. So Livingston will score the win. Chase coming home second. Marcus third. Fourth, it'll be Muniz, who did not get a lap in, will be scored in the fourth spot. So there it is in the books. Your Rotex Jr., Rock Jr. All right, Cadet Sportsman going to roll out. Dylan Gennaro inside row 1 in the number 18. Outside the 30 of Ryan Rackley. Starting third to 21 of Hunter Padilla. Gabor Ramirez into 51 starting fourth. Fifth, it'll be Landon Kelly in the 00. So 2 winners in 2 events. Dylan winning in Orlando, race weekend number 2. And Hunter Padilla open up in Monticello with a win. And we've seen some good racing out of these 2 drivers. Landon Kelly on the podium in Orlando finished second. And the field will come down the front stretch. 10 laps, your Cadet Sportsman. I'm not sure if we're going to go for that one. So no start, no start. We'll send them around one more time. Again, Dylan working this weekend as your points leader. Shifters, you're up next. Need shifter drivers. And shifters, you're up next. That'll be Shifters, Perilla Jr. That'll be Perilla Jr., your pre-grid. Again, Dylan with some very, very good qualifying lap of 52.474. out-qualified Ryan Rackley by about a half a second. So we'll see if Rackley can get a little extra speed out of that here in the 10-lap pre-final. Again, Dillon going to look over his right shoulder as they creep into turn number 12, looking for a better start this time by. Nick Wild going to show him that cone, let them know where they got to get ready to get on that gas. Dillon on the inside. Nick going to look him over, likes what he sees, and they will let him go into turn number 1. Dillon with the advantage. It'll come off turn 1 as your leader. Nice start for Dillon in that number 18. Qualified very well. And obviously got a little extra speed out of that machine with about a half a second gap between him and Ryan Rackley during qualifying. And he'll lead him into turn 5 for the first time. The 18 of Dillon De Niro. Rackley holding on to that second spot. And shifters, you're up next. Need shifter drivers, you're up next. Pirella, your pre-grid. So, Cadet Sportsman cycling around lap number 1. A little slip-flop now for that second spot. Again, that will be Rackley. So, Rackley will take over second, gets around Hunter Padilla. Hunter will drop back into that third spot. So Dillon up front, running second. Ryan Rackley in the 30. Padilla third. Landon Kelly and Ramirez. Again, Dillon getting some good runs now as he works off turn 5. Little bit of gap now between second and third. Ryan Rackley and Hunter Padilla. Padilla now going to be pestered by the 00. That'll be Landon Kelly in that 00. Going to go to work now on that third place card off at turn number 10. Good little battle heating up for that third spot. Hunter into 21, Landon into 00 as they come into turn number 12. Landon going to push him all the way into turn number 12. They'll hold that little battle down into turn number 1. So Dillon De Niro, 52.937, and here in this lap that just came by. Again, Dillon qualified with a 52.474. He just rolled a 52.937. And you look at the times all the way through the field starting to pick up. Boy, nice run for third. How about Landon Kelly going to work now on Hunter Padilla off a turn number 9. Landon Kelly in the 00 stays in the tire tracks. A Hunter Padilla off turn 10. Little separation there off turn 11. Landon Kelly in the 00 being scored 4th, 5th. It'll be Gabriel Ramirez. So 3 laps in. Up front, Dillon De Niro having his way right now with a 1.1 second advantage. And Hunter Padilla trying to keep the 00 Landon Kelly in behind him as they work off turn number 9. Good little race there between those two drivers. Again, Landon Kelly keeping the heat on that second place cart. Again, Landon peeking to the inside. We'll see if he'll make a move now as they come down that straightaway. Landon Kelly in the 00 trying to get the room to the inside. Going to be shut down. Hunter keeps him in behind him. Off turn 12. Good little battle for third. Meantime, starting to close that gap up. Ryan Rackley now 1.1 seconds behind your leader. Ryan Rackley with a 52.597 best lap for Ryan. He's definitely closed up that gap a little bit on Dillon. Hunter Padilla in that 21, currently being scored third off of turn number 10. As now they come off turn 10, trying to keep the 00 Landon Kelly behind him. Now Landon again going to peek to the inside. Meantime, starting to get a little more out of that 30 is Ryan Rackley closing up the gap. Again, nice line for Hunter Padilla on the entry to turn 12. Going to keep the 00 in behind him. As they'll work down into turn number 1. Still running third and fourth. And Ryan Rackley tried to close up that gap, still about 1.6 seconds behind your leader. So kind of going back and forth for Ryan Rackley. A couple laps ago had some good runs, but now 1.6 seconds for that second place cart. Meantime, finally getting around. That'll be the 00 of Landon Kelly finally getting around Padilla off turn 5. Hunter not going to lay down, keeps the heat now on Ryan Rackley off turn number 9. That race for third as they head into turn number 10. Nice piece of driving for Landon Kelly. He's been chipping away at Hunter Padilla, trying to get that spot away, and finally was able to be patient enough to find that spot. And that'll put Landon Kelly now into that third spot. Again, Dylan, just what you're seeing is starting to tighten it up. Opens up a 2-second advantage now for Dylan. Shifters, you're up next. And Dylan looking for a perfect afternoon, qualified on that top spot, and has led every single lap. That green flag dropped on the inside lane, and had momentum to get him into the top position. And the entry to turn number 1 has never looked back. And he looks back now. He's going to look at a 2-second gap between him and second running Ryan Rackley. And it's been a good battle. Landon Kelly and Hunter Padilla, as they're right back at it again, coming down into turn number 1. And we will see an exchange for that position. So Hunter Padilla fighting right back, gets that position away. And Hunter picking his marks, now moves up. Now he's going to see that go by the wayside as the 00 gets it back. Again, now they're side by side, a little drag race into turn 5. This battle, folks, for that third spot. And it has been a seesaw battle. And right now it's Landon Kelly in third. Dylan DeNiro continue to break away, moving on into a different time zone. 2.3 second lead now for Dylan. He'll see 2 to go. Great piece of work for Dylan as he'll cross the line with 2 to go. Solid run for Ryan Rackley running second. The battle for third between Kelly and Padilla. They'll see 2 to go this time by. Landon currently being scored in that third spot. Padilla back to fourth. Again, that has been going back and forth, side by side, wheel to wheel. As Dylan heads off at turn 5, just cruising right along. Just another day at the track for the 18 of Dylan DeNiro, cruising right along. Cadet Sportsman leader. Going to be interesting to find out who picks up that third spot right now. Landon Kelly in the 00 has that position off of turn number 9. They've been going back and forth. Landon Kelly in the 00, Padilla in the 21. Meantime, your leader picks up the white flag. 1 to go for Dylan. So Dylan with a 3.2 second advantage. I guess that qualifies him to be in a different time zone, I'd say, as he's cruising right along. Wire to wire for Dylan. I don't wonder how much that wind is affecting. We're seeing gusts somewhere right around 25 to 28 miles an hour. You can see those flags there at the stand there. They're really blowing hard. But again, not affecting your leaders. Dylan will go into turn 10 for the final time. Just moving right along with a 3.2 second advantage. In the meantime, Landon Kelly. Little gap now between him and Hunter Padilla. In the meantime, off at turn number 12, here comes your winner, Cadet Sportsman, Dylan DeNiro. Rackley, good run for Ryan Rackley coming home second. That war between Landon Kelly and Hunter Padilla, that will be won by Landon Kelly coming home third. Padilla fourth. Fifth, that'll be Ramirez. Great run for Dylan Gennaro. Boy, you talk about very well prepared kart. Came out in qualifying and had a solid run in qualifying. Picked up that pole position. Once that green flag dropped, jumped right out to that early lead and got off just exactly what he needed to do. So Dylan will score the win in your Cadet Sportsman. Need Perillo. We'll need you up on the grid. Again, once we do conclude all of our pre-finals, we'll have a 15-minute break. We'll get our invocation. Also have our national anthem. Yeah, and want to welcome in from Racers for Christ, again, Chaplain John Dunham. John will be with us tomorrow for trackside chapel service that will take place in the Tech area right after driver's meeting. So come on in with Chaplain John Dunham tomorrow for trackside service. Again, as we talked about, Chaplain with us last season. He really had a great day on that Sunday for his trackside chapel service. You don't want to miss it. You want to stay on it. So your shifters going to make their way out. Perillo Jr., you're on grid. Again, we'll get a 15-minute break in between pre-finals and finals. So in your stock model, the 41 of Kyle Kirkwood. Nick Neri in the 17. Austin Garrison in the 29. Jonathan Kotick in the 57. Oliver Askew in the 9. Morgan Healy in the number 16. ICC Senior, it'll be Ben Hankinson in the 249. ICC Masters, Tom Hankinson. Ryan Greavy in the 33, Stock Moto driver. Stock Moto Masters, John Dalton in the 7. ICC Senior, it'll be Brad Sanders. Michael Sachs in the 11, Jerry Brown in the 14. Kenneth Whitfield in the number 44. So we'll get them all lined up, ready to go. Your shifters. Need Perillo Jr., you're up next. You're on grid. So Nick will look him over. He'll get set to raise that left arm. Now he's got it out. Just puts it up. Everybody, all but one cart going to come off the line. They get that cart rolling. I believe that'll be the 44, Kenneth Whitfield. Slowing off the line, but looks like we got him rolling. Underway, your shifters. Perillo Jr., you're on the grid. Perillo Jr., you're on the grid. Perella Jr., you're on the grid. Perella Jr., you're on the grid. So working through our pre-final shifters. Field cycling around. Got a good battle heating up front now as they cross the line. And, man, we're seeing some very good times. Leader Oliver Askew, 45.737 for Oliver Askew. Garrison running second. Kodak running third. Morgan Healy and Nick Neri top 5 in the stock moto. And top 4 drivers working into turn number 6. Led by Oliver Askew, holding on to the top spot. Garrison, Kodak, Morgan Healy, Nick Neri. In the Masters, John Dalton, your leader in the Masters. Again, good battle up front, boy. Oliver Askew, Austin Garrison, really tight race off of turn 5. Oliver in the 9, Garrison into 29 as they work off turn number 9. And Austin keeping pace. And Jonathan holding on to that third place position as they come off of turn number 2. Morgan Healy being scored in that 4 spot, Neri running 5th. John Dalton in the Masters, that is your leader in the Masters. That'll be Stock Moto Masters, ICC, Tom Hankinson. So Askew, Garrison, and Kodak all doing battle off at turn number 8. They're pretty well buttoned up now as they come into turn 10. Really picking up the speed now as they come into turn number 11. Really watching Oliver Askew and Garrison. Now Garrison going to cross over to the inside. Garrison going to try to muscle his way in there as they come off of turn number 1. So 5 down, 5 to go. Perella Jr., you're up next. Got a good barn burner going on now. Top 3 drivers, Askew, Garrison, and Kodak as they come off turn 5 with your brand new leader. It's the 29 of Austin Garrison. So Garrison getting around your leader of Oliver Askew as they come into turn number 10. Keep an eye on Jonathan staying right there with the pack as they come off turn number 11. With Austin Garrison into 29, that is your leader. A lot of momentum off turn number 12. So Garrison down into turn number 1. Got a nice advantage, nice entry off of turn number 1. And keeps that momentum going into turn number 2. So great run coming off turn number 2 for your race leader, Austin Garrison. Jonathan, 45.792 last time by for Jonathan. Right now being scored 3rd. Austin Garrison in that 29. Austin started 3rd. They'll head down into turn number 12, all led by the 29 of Austin Garrison. There's Austin. And again, Oliver led the first couple laps early on. It's Austin Garrison holding on to the top spot about 0.3 of a second. Going to separate first and second. Perella Jr., you're on grid. That'll be Perella Jr., you're on grid. So it's been a good battle. 2 different leaders here in the shifters. Again, this is your stock moto leader. Right now it's Austin Garrison. In your ICC senior, it'll be Ben Hankinson holding on to that top spot. John Dalton in the Masters. That'll be Michael Sachs going to loop it off turn 12. Michael gets it back under power and keeps it going forward. In the meantime, now, problem with your leader is Austin Garrison. Makes a right-hand turn off the track as Austin Garrison with 2 to go. Brand new leader. So Oliver Askew back up front. Jonathan second. Nick Neri now 3rd. Nick with his work cut out right now, 2.5 seconds behind your leader. So something gone sour on the 29 of Austin Garrison. Had a great run going. Shuts it down with 2 to go. Oliver Askew said, absolutely, I'll take that position, no problem. And boy, is he settled in now with a 1-second advantage over Jonathan. So a tough break. Boy, I'll tell you, really working hard was Austin Garrison. And looks like this one will be settled as we've got 1 to go this time by for Oliver Askew. That is your stock moto leader. ICC Senior Ben Hankinson. Masters, it's Tom Hankinson. Stock Moto Masters, John Dalton. So, Perella Jr., you're up next. Nick Neri, 45.248 here in his final lap. So this will be your leader, Oliver Askew, cycling around for the final time. There's Jerry Brown going to cross the line. So here comes Oliver Askew in the 9 machine. He'll score the win. Jonathan going to come home second. Nick Neri third. Morgan Healy coming home fourth. Fifth, it'll be Kyle Kirkwood in the ICC Senior. That'll go to Ben Hankinson in the ICC Senior class. The rest of the drivers going to make their way around. Perella, you're up next. That'll be Perella drivers. You're next. So Perella Jr. will make their way out. Be their final group to come out for the last pre-final of the day. And again, we'll get a 15-minute break. We'll get in our invocation and our national anthem. And then we'll get started with our finals. There'll be 16 laps for all finals except for kid karts. As we'll get set for your Perella Jr. So last group, your last pre-final of the day, your Perella Jr. Christian Muniz into number 92, inside row 1. Devin Bowerman outside in the number 7. In row 2, Vincenzo Saraceno in the 0-1. And Chris Maxim in the 3. And Seve DePinto in the number 14. Again, Devin Bowerman, one of the 2 drivers with wins so far this season. Picked up the win at Monticello, and then Seve really cleaned him up in Orlando. Seve picking up the win in Orlando. Seve coming in today, tied for second with Saraceno in the point standings. They'll get him tightened up. Devin Bowerman. Outside row 1, that is your points leader. Again, Bowerman picked up race weekend number 1. Sat on the top spot in the podium. Devin Bowerman in the 7. Outside row 1, Muniz in the 92. Again, Christian making his first start here at the Florida Karting Championship Series. As they'll come off turn number 12. Nick's going to look him over. Muniz in the 92, Bowerman in the number 7. They'll make their way into that turn number 1. Nick going to let them fly as they come down into turn number 1. Your pole sitter will have that early lead off of turn number 1. They'll go single file to turn number 2 for the first time. And Muniz making his first start of the season with us. As we work in race weekend number 3 and off to a very good start up front off of turn 5. Muniz gets out of the gate strong. Off turn number 8, opens up a good 4-kart length lead now into turn number 10. So wasted no time overall. Quick qualifier. Christian Muniz in at 92. Up front as they'll work off turn number 11. Long straightaway into turn number 12. Again, Seve DePinto starting to close up now for that 3rd spot. He'll go to work on Saraceno as they head down into turn number 1. And watching Seve coming off a great race weekend number 2 in Orlando. And had a solid run as he picked up the top spot on the podium. Seve DePinto at number 14. Right now, Seve digging into that 4th spot. Saraceno going to let that tail waggle a little bit coming off of turn 5. And that may help out Seve because Seve was able to gain a little bit of ground on Saraceno. There's Seve about a kart length behind Saraceno for 3rd off of turn number 11. Meantime, Muniz up front in the 92. Bowerman running 2nd. Saraceno still holding on to 3rd. And Seve starting to build up some speed now. Closes that gap off turn 1. Seve kind of peeking to the inside on the entry to turn number 2. Not going to be able to gain any ground. But again, Seve coming off an outstanding performance at Orlando last month. But right now, got himself sitting in that 4th spot as they'll come off turn 5 again. Watching, boy, Saraceno with a lot of momentum off turn 5. Got that back end of that kart, got a little dirt race in there as he comes off turn 5. A couple of youngsters been racing together for a while. Saraceno in the 0-1. And Seve in at number 14. Obviously very familiar with each other as they're nose to tail off turn number 12. That has been the battle right there. And they're nose to tail on the entry to turn number 1. Up front, Muniz continuing to move right along. Christian cruising. Got a nice lead coming into turn number 4. Seve, little bump there coming off of turn number 8, trying to get to the inside of Saraceno. Again, right now, that is the battle for 3rd as they come into that turn number 12. Muniz cruising right along. Running 2nd is Bowerman. Nobody's been around Bowerman at all. So 4 laps in, 6 to go. Working on our last pre-final of the day, your Perella Jr. Close it in on a halfway point next time by, and up front, Christian Muniz moving right along. Nobody's been around Bowerman. Bowerman qualified outside of row number 1, continues to hold on to that spot. The battle again for third between Seve and Vincenzo Saraceno in that 0-1. They'll pick up the halfway sign. This time by 5 down, 5 to go. One and only leader. Muniz into that top spot. Now Seve's got plenty of room. Goes right to the inside. Oh, and he makes contact. And Seve going to be the one that suffers in this one. Trying to take a shot at Saraceno. Going to cost him a big, big gap now, as he'll have to gather it up and gets it going. Seve tried to get it in there. A little bit of contact. And so long now as Seve will drop to the back of the field. Trying to make it, trying to get something to happen. Makes contact. So that'll settle that battle down for third. Right now, Saraceno in hand for that spot, as they'll work their way around. So again, Muniz holding on to that top position. Bowerman second, Saraceno, Maxim now fourth. Fifth, it'll be Seve de Pinto. And last pre-final of the day, we'll get a 15-minute break, and then we will move on into our finals. And finals will be 16 laps except for the kids. Muniz moving right along again. That is your overall quick qualifier, and has led every single lap with really nobody getting close to him. And we'll get started with our finals. It'll be Kid Karts. You'll be up first. It'll be followed by Box Stock Senior, Box Stock Junior. And Muniz with an overall quick lap time of 46.034. And that's a little bit quicker than he did in qualifying. Christian with a 46.075 in qualifying and rolled off a 46.034. So pretty quick lap time for Muniz in the 292. Got a nice lead right now over Devin Bowerman. And Nick will show him 2 to go this time by. So Muniz down into turn number 1, breaking away from the field. Bowerman 4.6 seconds behind your leader. And we'll take a 15-minute break, and then we will move on into our finals. You get started with your Kid Karts, followed by Box Stock Junior, Box Stock Senior. So your leader cycles around off of turn number 11. And Nick will show the white, and 1 to go this time by for Muniz in the 292. Bowerman now across the line for the final time. So looking to go wire to wire. Christian making his first start out of 3 events so far this season, and came in very well prepared, picked up quick time during qualifying, and now going to rack up the pre-final. And as will slide off at turn number 12, checker flag in air. So Christian goes wire to wire and will score the win. Devin Bowerman will score second. Saraceno will pick up that third spot. Seve finally fighting his way back to fourth, and Maxim will round out your top 5. And we'll need kid kart drivers. We'll need you to the grid. Kid kart drivers to the grid. Box stock senior, box stock junior, your pre-grid. We'll need you to the grid. Once again, kid kart drivers, also box stock senior, box stock junior. We'll need you to the grid. And don't forget, tomorrow, once we wrap up our drivers' meeting, you're encouraged to sit in for Trackside Chapel service with Chaplain John Dunham will join us with Racers for Christ. You're highly encouraged to sit in tomorrow after drivers' meeting. All right, before we get started here with our finals, at this time we'd ask that everybody please rise. We ask gentlemen to remove your caps as we now welcome in Chaplain John Dunham with Racers for Christ for invocation at this time. Good afternoon, Chaplain.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.